being prepared at all times, because you never know when the unexpected presents itself.
Imperfectly perfect, imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect, imperfect, imperfectly, imperfectly perfect, imperfectly perfect couple. Oh yeah.
Welcome back to the Imperfectly Perfect Couple Podcast. I'm Candy.
What up, though? And I am Tank.
So, what's going on?
Do you got for me?
What do I got
today?
for you?
Yeah.
Well, I just been, trying to get myself together. Just all together, just mentally, just being in the better headspace. Like I told you about, like the journaling and different things that I've been doing.
You told them.
I told y'all, and I told you too, because you were surprised last time.
But I'm quite sure that they probably think that I should know some of these things. But go ahead.
No, because I hid it. Like it was just something personal that I was doing for me.
Keyword, she hid it.
Yeah, because I feel like, you should have some things to yourself.
I agree.
So, yeah, I just been getting myself together just mentally, just wrapping my mind around a lot of different things. Just being prepared at all times, because you never know when the unexpected presents itself.
I mean, what do you mean? Because that can be taken like when you say being prepared, that can like for the worst, for the best, for what? What you mean?
So basically, like today, for example, I'm walking through the store and I'm minding my business,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear somebody go, Candy. And I'm like, I turn around and I look and I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, hi, how you doing? And she was like, oh, you don't know me. And because at first I was kind of confused. I'm like, who is this? And I'm thinking like, you know how you go through your mind and you like, okay, where did I meet this person or see this person from? Really nice and everything. She's like, oh no, you don't know me. I'm related to Tank them and your cousin in particular. So I was like, oh, okay. And I gave her a hug and stuff. And I'm just, getting my mind wrapped around that. You know what I'm saying? Like when people notice you that you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times that's the way how it go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See,
I'm embracing it though. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like when people see you and they come across your reels or they come across your content and things of that sort, and I may not have know the people and I may not know them or vice versa.
Right.
But it's just, I feel like it's a good thing to be recognized and be put out there when people are like stopping you and saying, hey, what's up? And you can embrace them back and be able to show the love back to them,
Yeah. Well, it's two things I think I want to say, which is one, when situations like that occur, when people may stop me or whatever the case, or they call me a certain name, and I've said that in previous podcasts or episodes, to where depending on how a person greets me or if I don't know them, depending on how they greet me, that I kind of get like I can pinpoint what time frame I kind of know I met them in. You know what I'm saying? So if a person called me by my government name, then I know it's either childhood or elementary school, maybe middle school. But when it starts saying Tank and all that type of stuff, I know, okay, it's either associated from music, podcasts, or me just getting older or like jobs I done had, you know what I'm saying? So to me, that would have been like one of the first things I would have done. I would have like canceled all that out, because if somebody calling you Candy, you should know like you ain't never used that alias until this point.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I get it, yeah, but
Got to be more quicker than that.
No, it's just that my mind kind of like shoots all over the place, because even some people from school now call me Candy. They don't call me by my government name. So,
but you would know who they are.
True.
In most cases.
But like, because my name is the alias on the social media platforms now.
That's what.
But I'm just saying, like, nobody calls me by my government name, even personal DMs and all of that stuff, they call me by what's on the page.
Right.
So that's kind of how I got thrown off, because people from high school call me Candy now, and then people from, just different points and different things they've seen. So that's why I was kind of confused though, but it was cool though. It was a good embrace.
And then the other thing I would want to point out in that would be, I think it's a thing too of what you are experiencing is that, like, especially when you are being intentional, well, like everything that we're doing on here is intentional. Like we're purposely, pushing out these podcasts, making a conscious decision to let's put this out, put that out, let's get back to podcasting. So when you start to see that you're being recognized or being addressed by that, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like bringing everything like full circle, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I know one experience I had with that. This is probably about like 2 years ago, and these were people that I all knew, but not people that I keep in contact with every single day. And it was a thing to where the people that I was running into at the time, that, 2 years ago at this time, all of them either one asked about the podcast or they were reciting certain episodes. And it had nothing to do with the clips, the promotional clips that was being put out. So that let me know that they actually watched it, because all of them said, oh man, when y'all gonna start back the podcast and this and that. I actually watch the episodes, me and my wife, or me and my girl, or I watch them, this and this. And it was like just confirmation, like, dang, even though that you may not get those likes, those shares, or whatever it is that you may be looking for, the numbers may not necessarily be reflecting right away how you would want it. But, when you receive stuff like that to where people was reciting, I'm like, okay, y'all watched, because I know certain points. I'm the one that's editing them, you know what I'm saying? So I know what it is.
Right.
So when stuff like that happen, it does feel good, man.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It's just like in a sense, like a reality check of how far it could really go. You know what I'm saying? Like, good thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, but how would you handle, like, because even though we see like a positive side of things, a lot of people that are in the forefront, in a sense, they can get the negative side too, from running into different people, and people may not like them personally, or people just may be,
it can be a lot
weird, you know what I'm saying?
It can be a lot. You can get the weird part, from people being overly too friendly, or whatever you may call it.
Or
you can
obsessive.
Get that. Yeah, that's more of a better word. Yeah, you can come off as being like obsessed. You can get the thing to where people not agreeing with what you represent, or in their mind they may think, oh, you think you better than me, or you put so yeah, you can get, but we're not focusing on that.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't what that is. Let me see. With me, one of the things I think, that I know I want to talk about would be, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I want to go there. I don't know if I really want to go there in that direction. I really don't know.
So what? Like,
I mean, because it was going to be like, just
skim or give a.
What was going to be a thing?
Peek.
It was going to be switching subjects, and what that subject switching was going to be is how a lot of times for people, and I think this is in all cases, people don't necessarily look at a situation at its entirety. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, people, they may look at our situation. We talked about this. I don't think it's too much of anything that we probably haven't damn near touched, if you will. But most people may look at, our situation from the outside. And then they may automatically assume, like, hey, it's two of y'all both work, this and that, y'all should be straight.
Yeah.
But if it's a person that, even if you have children, if you did not physically, it's different versions of you that I think people don't necessarily understand. if you have children and you didn't necessarily raise your children full time, there's certain moves that you cannot make.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's certain things that you have to take into consideration. You know,
Because you're not just considering like
it's
yourself.
not just you.
Yeah.
You know, when you know things are like your move here can affect everybody else, and that's if you care. You know what I'm saying? Because you have some people to where they're the reason why for whatever it may be, but they still do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be like kind of, I guess, strategic, if you will, and kind of
You
think.
talking about like not making just like rash,
You cannot make
or
rash.
is it rash decisions?
Rash.
Yeah.
You can't make rash decisions. You know what I'm saying? Because, like for us, for example, okay, I'm looking for extra work. Some people may say, well, all you got to do is on your off days do this, and that. Well, got to factor in the times that I work. Not only the times that I work, we have what's that? Every 3 months, shift bids, so I could be knocked out of a spot. Not only that, I only have 2 days, technically. Well, it could be 3 days if you count 3 days of no work. One of them is a Sunday. Then,
Which is not a business day to get anything done. So.
and then when you factor in that, all of that, the times that I get off, most second, another job like a second shift job or a night job, they're already, it's well past that time. Another thing that I've, that's been things that that I had to take into consideration would be, what's the other thing? Not the job thing, not that.
What the time that you
Not the time.
with the kids?
Oh, but the kids. How the hell could I forget that?
Duh.
The kids, you know what I'm saying? So, we both play an equal part when it comes to getting them to and from, because the days that I go to work, I'm taking them, the 2 oldest, to school. It's certain days that I still need to take. So it's, just figuring this stuff out, so. That was one of the things. That was one of the things I was thinking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a lot of times it takes a lot because, like, even like when I was working, or when I had the outpatient job that I was doing on the weekends, I factored in the fact that you were off. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have to worry about like who was gonna be there unless it was something that you picked up that you had to do on Saturdays, And so it was convenient because I didn't have to necessarily we didn't have to rely on the grandparents a lot of the time. Right. It's just like, how you just alternate. You just typically, like, for most couples, like, especially when you feel like, not necessarily like you don't need people, but you don't want to necessarily ask or inconvenience people because they have the kids a lot of times Monday through Friday, or they're dropping them off at home after school or whatever the case. And you just want to make it to where everybody's not feeling overwhelmed because children are a lot to deal with, especially when you're older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like, even in my parents' situation, like, they would alternate like their schedules. Like, my dad was on afternoons, my mom was in the daytime, you know what I'm saying? And it was a thing to where, like, when one passed the baton, the other one picked the other side back up. So
like pass and go.
Yeah, so it was like, and they didn't have to do that, for forever, you know what I'm saying? But, if somebody was always home, to make sure we felt, I guess, in a sense, like how some people talk about, like, feeling safe when your kids come home and they can come home to a safe place and they know they got food, they know they got their favorite things and, things of that sort. So.
And then it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, people do it every day, but it's an adjustment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that's not your reality,
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day, so.
Yeah, if that's not your reality. So, well.
Jump into the topic.
Want to take a break? Come back? Or what?
Take a break.
All right. Well, we'll be right back.
That's what he said.
We're back. We are back. We are back.
Ha ha.
I'm taking it or you taking it?
You taking it. Go ahead.
All right. So the topic that we are going to jump into is how do you look at forgiveness when it comes to forgiving people? What is it that you have to see from that person when you decide or may not decide? What makes you or may not make you forgive a person? So,
You want me to take it away? Okay.
yeah. How do you feel?
I feel forgiveness is a very sensitive, touchy, in a sense, type of subject.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like everybody is good at it, you know. And
What you mean? Hold on. Everybody's not good at what?
forgiveness. Like, just with whatever has been done unto you or whatever the case. I don't feel that everybody's good with accepting forgiveness. I know me, myself, personally, I have had some rough patches when it comes to forgiving people.
Why? Why do you think
I'm-
that is? Why do you think that is?
Because I'm the type of person to where, like, I feel more so that it's personal. I feel like I don't do things purposely to, like, hurt people or hurt people's feelings or actions that may do that purposely. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that a lot of times with me, I kind of like build up this wall, and it's things that I'm slowly learning like how to undo because I'm still a work in progress.
We all are.
So I'm still learning, like, you know, you don't have to necessarily build that wall up or like shut down, because that's my other problem that I have. I will shut down and I won't say anything.
Whoa. You are admitting to this. What?
What that mean?
What's happening here?
No, for real. I've always talked about that. Like that's my
No,
that's
you
my
haven't.
listen. I've talked about it with some of my friends. That's my defense.
I must be not your friend.
You are my friend. 'Cause
I ain't
said-
never heard that before. You blatantly admitting.
I feel like it's a defense mechanism, just like how insects or animals in the wild may do stuff to like protect themselves.
Okay.
Because I feel like I don't necessarily want to get hurt, and then I don't want to hurt others purposely. You know what I'm saying? Like
So you just shut down.
I will shut down. I will shut down. I won't say anything because I feel like, and this is like really like tough because I'd be like, why would you do that? Why you do that to me? Or why would you X, Y, Z? Like, did you purposely, try to do whatever? Or did you purposely feel some type of way about me?
Okay.
And I take it real personal, and I got a tendency of like internalizing it to where it's like, okay, I'm not even about to think about this no more. I'm just about to build up this wall. I will shut down and shut you out.
That is very, very true.
That could be a bad thing too. And I know, because I'm a therapist, so I study this stuff and I see it. But I think in the beginning, if you are doing it in a healthy way to kind of protect your peace and to kind of make amends, because some people use it to cope. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll shut down. But in the same instance, I feel like it's kind of our generation in a sense, because you were to be seen and not heard. You know what I'm saying? And a lot
So do you forgive people? Why are you saying all of this? But do you? But
I do forgive people. I was saying all of that to say, like, I do have a tendency of forgiving people, but I think it's on the terms that we can both come to an agreement to say what we're both sorry for, what we're both apologizing for. Your part and then my part in the same sense, or coming to terms. But there's a twist, because not everybody apologizes and not everybody says they're sorry. So it's
That's
a thing in me to figure out, like, how do I forgive this person and be able to move on without it damaging me, mine, or anything else that I got going on? Because not everybody apologizes. You will go through life and, you know, encounter different people and be put in different situations to where a person may never apologize to you, but you have to be able to move accordingly to where it's not damaging to you personally, you know?
That's true. I feel that.
So, I mean, for the most part, forgiveness looks like, in my case, like I was saying, coming to terms with the situation just personally and thinking to yourself like, okay, this person, I may never get an apology from this person. And I have to be okay with that, you know, and I have to accept that. And I think like whatever it is that one person may believe in, like whether you spiritual or what have you, a lot of times you just got to let that shit go and just let it be. And however that looks for you.
That's easier said than done, though.
Yeah, it is easier said than done because it could take a person years. Like, it's taken me years sometimes to get over certain things. But I think, like, depending on what you believe in, you got to pray about it. You got to meditate about it. You got to journal it. You got to write it down. You got to take the steps and go through therapy if you feel like that is gone that far to where it messes with your everyday steps in life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have to be able to know how to cope with it if you never get an apology, or if you do get an apology, you have to know how to cope and how to move forward and not stay in that space. Because that's another one of my problems too. Like, we can agree to disagree or apologize to each other, but sometimes I be stuck in that space to where I be like.
So where do you think that comes from? Like, did something happen in your childhood? Did you get beat up? Did you not, you know?
I'm not laughing at that, but.
What? I mean, what happened, you know?
Nah, I think a lot of times for me, because that's where I was coming back to how children back then. Nah, like how children are to be seen and not heard. Like, I was a very quiet child growing up.
I heard you got lost in Walmart. I mean, on Kmart.
That was Walmart years ago.
It was Kmart.
That wasn't Kmart.
That's what Daddy said today.
He don't remember. It was Walmart because I was in one aisle and they left. And I went to the man in the blue shirt in the front of the store that I was volunteering.
Then they called them.
Then they paged them. But now I feel like because I was always a quiet child, I always listened for the majority of everything that my parents. I was the model child. I was the firstborn. I was doing as I was told, you know, and you have a fear of like messing up because you want to look good in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? But I think when you have situations to where, you know, you may see like disagreements with your parents and things of that sort, and then you hear it and think, or I may get yelled at because I didn't do something right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a beat. I feel like I'm getting beat up internally in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, dang, I messed up. How can I, you know, make it right? You know what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of that timidness comes from being in those situations, like growing up and feeling like you got a voice, but not really feeling like you got a voice in a sense. Because
so now you just be quiet.
No, because now it's a thing to where I get so angry.
You get angry.
No, listen, I'm saying like it could be a thing to where I get so angry that I internalize that, and instead of me like being to the point to where I'm ready to call you up and like cuss your ass out, it'd be a thing to where like, all right,
take another sip here. You're on Dr. Tank's show.
Yep.
Take another sip.
Listen.
The juice is making her loose, people.
Listen.
Ahead.
But nah, for real.
Okay.
Don't do that voice. Nah, for real though. Stop playing with my emotions.
Now go ahead.
But I feel like, you know, just instances like that, like I get so mad and I internalize it that I may not let it out, but my actions be wanting to, I'ma call you up and I'ma get in an argument with you on purpose. Just because like you pissed me off or because we ain't seeing eye to eye. So I be wanting to act on it. And it's like I just get so mad. And instead of me like fucking some shit up or wanting to fuck somebody up, I shut down. That's what I do.
So, how do you, so you say that versus in a lot of cases, instead of you forgiving people, you would just like shut down or shut them out and it's just done?
No, it's not the forgiveness part. It's just how I build a wall to cope with myself.
So you shutting them out?
I do, but I'm open to talk about things when we need to have the conversation. I'm just saying that's like leading up to that. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that I'm not willing to forgive somebody or not willing to come to amends so that we can move forward. It's more so learning how to cope in a sense of after the apology and how do we move forward.
How do you move forward? Okay.
But I'm just telling you what leads up to it, like why I'm mad or why I internalize it or where did it stem from? Like, why do I get timid? Why do I shut down? And that was leading up to why I shut down, but I still can be in a space for forgiveness to be able to forgive somebody. Like, I feel like as I get older, it's like I don't really have time for like just like the petty stuff, and I would really want to have a conversation and talk about it and talk through it because life is short. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's to the point to where when I feel like it's not worth my time, I might not even say anything. You know what I'm saying? I just may let it come back full circle, and when we need to address it, we'll address it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm at the grown age now to where I'm not about to argue with nobody. I'm not about to beat nobody up. I'm not about to do any of that stuff. We can just wait till we come to a head to where we in the same type of space, level-minded, and have a conversation. And if we do exchange apologies or if the apology is given, you know, it's more so how you accept it and how you take it and how you move forward.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I got you. So you got anger issues. You kind of like I think, is it Roxy from Problem Child? You kind of like her.
No.
Yeah.
I'm an Aries, okay? I'm fiery. And when it comes to like me not playing about myself.
Here we go.
When it comes to me not playing, listen, I'm a cardinal sign, okay? I'm all cardinal triangle, big triangle.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't play about me. And I don't play about mine. So when I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you violate me or you violate anything that's connected to me, an offspring, a husband, or whatever the case, I'm going to have a problem with it. So I am always willing to forgive. I am always willing to accept forgiveness. I just feel like that we need to be in a space to forgive. Or if you don't never hear an apology from that person, you have to find it within to be able to, you know, to move forward and say, well, fuck it. I ain't never going to get that apology. So at the end of the day, like, how do I move on?
Yeah. No, I feel that. I think, I know for me, it's more so like that Trident gum. It's layers.
What?
It's like that Trident
gum. Wait a minute.
It's layers.
You mean like an onion?
It's layers, Trident gum, onion, whatever you want to say.
Okay, so
I mean,
what do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is, okay, so you can forgive. I can forgive a person, but that don't necessarily mean that things are going to go back to what it used to be.
That's the part that I was missing too.
So
that's the part. That's what I wanted to say too.
And then, so, you know, and what I mean by that, you know, if it was a thing to where we were buddy or whatever, you know, the closeness, you know what I'm saying? That may, whatever the situation was, that may affect that. You know what I'm saying?
Wholeheartedly, I agree.
And then the other thing is, it's like, or let's just say, for instance, a person might not necessarily do nothing directly to you, but it's a thing to where it's like, I'ma chill out with you. Like I'ma chill out with you. And then they may want to know why or where all this is coming from, and then you explain to them, you know, well, remember.
Just not trying to take from what you said.
What?
But that's the other part too. Like when you do come back together after the forgiveness part, a lot of people think that you're supposed to go back to the relationship being what it once
What
was.
it used to be.
And, you know, it's okay to be able to be in that space to where it's like, okay, we cool and we didn't got that part out of the way. But like you said, don't come back in the space and think that we supposed to be texting every day, calling each other every day.
Popping up at each other's
Hey,
house.
what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
give a person time to, if they're going to come back around, or, you know, or give them that space to be able to, because that space may mean that they're coping with whatever it was that went on.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to say with that part.
So, and I mean, so like I was saying, depending on what it might be or whatever the situation, because it may not even necessarily be the forgiveness, the situation that caused the forgiveness might not even necessarily be something done directly to you. You know, it can be the way how a person did something or said something or not did a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it depended on the situation and how many times certain things have came up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if you got a person that's, you know, for instance, always borrowing money, but they never give it back to you. You know what I'm saying? Or when it's time to get the money back, you know, it's a fight or it's an argument or just whatever the case may be. You know, it's like, all right, you know what? Go ahead. You cool. I'm not even mad at you. You needed it more than I did. Whatever. But just know you're not going to get it again. You know what I'm saying?
And then,
Or if you're going to be all, you know, pissed off at this, to this level, to the point to where you want to spread negative rumors or lies or whatever the case may be. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to save myself the hassle
Step
and the
back.
trouble. And I protect my peace and I just leave you where you at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so yeah, I believe that yes, you can forgive people, but depending on the circumstances, I will say, depending on the circumstances, it may not. This even better. Depending on the circumstances, that will determine what the next steps are. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
To the point to where it's like, all right, we both was tripping, or I misunderstood this. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to it. You know, it was a big misunderstanding. But if it's a thing to where it's like during that separation or whatever the case, you just blatantly like disrespected me, or you know what I'm saying? Or it's a thing to where it was like, damn, it was something so simple. And you went on a deep end and you just like cut a motherfucker off. And it's like, okay, well, damn, if we were like that, and if you were able to cut me off like that, did I really mean that much to you? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, I just think it all depends on what the situation is and how many times situations like
How
that
many
occur.
times?
You know what I'm saying? Because
how many?
a lot of people, and like, you know,
Can I add this?
go ahead. Got a lot of ads.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
I was about to say, and it got to do with a person's actions too. Like what they are doing after the forgiveness, if they were in the wrong, to try to make it.
But that's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I'm more so, I keep hearing action in my head. Like, what did you do to.
That's what I was saying. Like, if that's what I stated, to where if it's like during whatever the reason for the separation or that caused the possible apologies that may or may not be due during that separation of not speaking or whatever the case may be, did you blatantly disrespect me? Did you, you know what I'm saying, were you spreading, whatever the case may be, did you just mind your business and just let it just be? Did you try to reach out to me? Did you send me a 4-page letter? Like, you know, what were the actions? Like, what did you do?
What were the corrections?
Or what did you not do? You know what I'm saying? To try to set the record straight. Because you have some motherfuckers that go off the deep end. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where it's just like, hey, what they think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And they just go off at that shit. And it's like, man, you know what? Whatever, you know. So yeah, so I just think it's just layers to it, you know, when it comes to that. Me personally, I can say fuck you very fast. Just flat out. I mean, no, flat out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you got to think. This goes back to the only child shit that you were saying. That's something that, you know, me personally, it's like, I build my own reality. You know what I'm saying? I build my own fucking reality around me.
But have you ever been put in a situation to where you've had to say a fuck you, or to where you did forgive somebody, but you pushed them away?
Yeah, hell yeah. I had to do that. Yeah, I did that. Because it was a thing to where it's like, you know, like sometimes people don't necessarily think that their actions may not necessarily catch up to them. Even though that they may apologize for whatever, you know what I'm saying? They may apologize for certain things and move on, but then it's like when you sit, but I know for me, it's a situation that I'm thinking about particularly to where it's like, you sit back and it's like, damn, you didn't have no type of good intentions on none of it. You know what I'm saying? On anything. And when I think about it, it's like, you know, you think you can still do the ha-ha he-he's. It's like, man, fuck all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, just let that stay where it's at. Let that and you stay where it's at. Now, the key now is still to me.
What's the catch-22?
To me, depending on how hard, or I'm trying to think of another word, but depending on how you display the I ain't dealing with you like that, no, we cool. I think it depends on the severity of what was done. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's like blatantly disrespect, it's like, no, like it ain't no I'm letting you know that I forgive you, or we cool, or, you know what I'm saying? But I just can't do. No, that ain't you don't even deserve that if it's that bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking with you, and that's just simply that. You know what I'm saying? This what you call him, kind of strong too.
You did it.
Yeah, it's kind of strong.
He made it.
And then when it comes, so, you know, it just all depends. You know, it depends on what the level of whatever may be, to where you might or may not feel that the apology or whatever the person might have done, you know.
Because an apology can be fake.
But that's why you gotta watch actions. You know what I'm saying? Yep. People can tell you anything. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I watch by what you do. You know, I watch by what you do. I hear what you say. I watch by what you do to see if what you said lines all up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in a lot of cases, it's like, you know, a person, they tell you, a motherfucker tell you anything to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? To where, and it can be regarding anything.
Just
you know what I'm saying?
Get back in like your
get
good
back in,
grace,
whatever.
Your good space. Because sometimes people do that. Sometimes
people do that.
Yeah, they come back up, and then because they think it's something that they, I guess, can benefit off of, or, you know, it could be your time. For example, they can know because you edit really good videos and shit, and then they like, oh, let me come back, and get that edit from you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though I haven't been messing with you like that or whatever. And that's just an example.
It's different things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it all depends. Because you have some relationships and bonds to where you don't have to speak to people every single day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think we kind of switching gears. This is just like a separation from like dealing with people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But But yeah, man, you know, I just kind of feel as if, depending on the relationship, depending on the bond,
how long
you know,
you known them, and
if it's a thing to where like I dealt with you back in 9th grade and I ain't heard from you since, and I mean, hell, I know people probably look at that the same way.
Yeah.
Me the same way. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect to get the, you know, hey, come sit on my couch
same
and watch TV.
embrace.
No,
Yeah.
I don't expect that. I wouldn't expect nobody to do that. I mean, because to me, that's kind of reckless. Like if I don't know anything, if I don't know what the hell you've been doing in that lapse of time,
you can't.
is
'Cause
no
people
record.
change.
You know what I'm saying? No record of what you've been up to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you think it's about to be, hey, come chill on my couch and come lay it. You know what I'm saying?
Because what I knew of when, for example, like the example you gave, when I knew you in the 9th grade, you were a different person. It was something that we were relatable or relating with at that particular time. Like,
or just 20 years ago. Not even
we didn't skip over the fact that you done probably had relationships,
man, drama,
different jobs, drama,
all type
being
of
in the
stuff.
streets, all kind of stuff. And then you talking about like hooking up and, oh, we about to be buddy again. Like, it's a different vibe. You have to relearn a person.
That's if it's a common interest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it's a common interest. I think that ultimately, though, with either trying to forgive a person or either saying that you're going to forgive a person or rekindling a relationship that's been, you know, a friendship that's been, or whatever.
Right.
That's a situation, whatever. That's had some time apart. I think a lot of that is determined by, God damn it, I lost my thought.
I would say
damn,
that time apart is room for growth sometimes between the two parties.
Oh, I know. Go ahead. Do two parties. I got it.
I think sometimes you have to separate to be able to reflect and then have that growth between each person, because a lot of times you don't know like where that person headspace was at. It could be a thing to where the person was dealing with this or that or whatever the case, and it's just like it just blows up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it don't necessarily mean that it had to go that far, but it did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's just taking a step back to be able to reflect and be like, okay, I was wrong doing this, and I may have been wrong doing this, but we can come to middle. In a sense.
So what I was gonna say was that, you know, depending on like using, you know, not using, but depending on forgiving a person or if it's a relationship thing to where, you know, it was some time apart. The thing is that what we must understand is that you're going to be used. So if you feel misused, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, like, a person might, in both of these situations,
preaching to the choir today?
both of these situations,
You preaching?
call them. Both of these situations, it may be a thing to where, you know, a person might apologize just because, like what you just said, people might apologize strictly because they know that, hey, I need to get back in that situation because it was more beneficial to me. Even if it was like a lapse, like I said, with the editing thing, it could be, you know, something like that. So once you understand that, but if the scales kind of look kind of like you're being used way more, I mean, because I mean, think about it. I mean, in life, you're gonna be used. That point blank, period.
But it's all about reciprocity.
It is, but but you cannot be misused.
Yeah.
That's the key. You're gonna be used, even in a relationship. You're gonna be used. It's things that you're gonna want. It's things that I'm gonna want. And it's a thing to where if once it's starting to you not getting as much that I'm getting or that I'm receiving from it, hey, you gonna speak up. Vice versa. You know, that's how it goes.
Like, look, we doing it too much. Like, it's the drink.
No, it ain't.
It's the drink.
It's not. But yeah, so I just kind of feel as if it's a thing to where, you know, once you start getting misused or you start feeling misused, that's to where, like, even if you do decide to forgive somebody or rekindle whatever the case may be, it's like, yeah, cool, but you're just gonna stay where you are. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I think, so to sum it up, for me, it's more so a thing to where it's like, depending on the situations, like what caused the forgiveness to be accepted or to be forgiven, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or to rekindle whatever. What caused that?
Yeah.
What was the root cause of that? Was that
root cause? I like that.
Was it a reoccurrent? Does this happen? You know what I'm saying? Is this a recurrent thing? You know, for that person, or for, it's always something with an individual. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like, you know,
am I the drama?
I mean,
B.
we can be, cause you know what? Some people like drama. They can't.
They do.
Some people
and
love
I'm
it.
not like for that. Like, I so cannot function in like drama, and
so
that's just like.
But that's what a lot of people. I've come to a realization that if it wasn't for drama, people would, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have certain things. They wouldn't have nothing. They wouldn't have nothing to talk about.
That's true, because a lot of times
they would be boring.
Fuels
they would, yes.
a person's personality, their behaviors, and all of that stuff. So.
Yeah. Peace, serenity, and maybe, just maybe.
Nigga, preaching to the choir today.
And just maybe, like something that you said.
You may just drink strong on purpose. I can't even talk right now.
But just maybe, that's probably,
stuck.
Turning as you get older, right? You start to put a lot of them things in perspective, you know what I'm saying? To where it's like you start to see a lot of, like how you know, because it said that, you know, when you get older, you know, you get out of your 30s or your late 30s, going into 40 or whatever the case, and you know, they say, like, you know, you don't go out as much, or you ain't really hanging out, you ain't in the streets.
Because bedtime is at 9:30 for a lot of us.
And, you know, it's a lot of, I ain't gonna say quiet, but, you know what I'm saying, it ain't always about a fucking turn up. You know what I'm saying?
Turn down the sheets.
And maybe that's probably part of the reason, like, when you get older, you start seeing that, and that's part of the separation. You know what I'm saying? Because you see those people that's strictly for the bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can read that with no shit.
And when I can see that shit, it's like I run far away from that shit. When I see that,
I think it's best.
Because if you always in the middle of something, or you just sit, and then that's the other thing too. I get so tired of like the gossip part too. Like, it's okay to have, but you know, that's what females, like most females, do. But like the gossip part is the part that I can't handle, because I feel like when somebody else is like, when it's not friendly gossip, I would say that. You know what I'm saying? More
gossip
so.
Is gossip.
No, friendly gossip. Okay, like if we having a conversation.
You talking about like
if we
Young Thug gossip?
Yeah, like stuff that's like headliners, and you know what I'm saying, stuff that you see in the news and things of that sort. Like, I think I consider that friendly gossip. But I feel like the ignorant gossip be because you trying to figure out people's lives and you really don't know like what it is that's going on. So you just make up stuff to talk, and you just gossip. And you put things out there that's not real, or that's not true, or, you know, and you just want to, whatever, if it may be sabotaging a person, you know what I'm saying? And that's what fuels you to be able to talk about what somebody else is doing versus you actually knowing for a fact. Or even if you do know, it's just like the spreading of just the drama. And it's like, why sit up there and...
Well,
why feel like... Get a hobby.
No. That would be, I think that would probably be the most logical thing that we would say for a person to do.
This drink hitting.
But in actuality, you know, you have people that put it like this. there are a great deal, or there is a great deal of people, right? Mm-hmm. That are in situations because by default. They are living lives by default. You know what I'm saying?
And they miserable.
I mean, it may not, it could be, but my thing is, if you know that it's a lot of people that are in situations to the point to where they're not being honest and real with themselves, how do you expect for them to live a life of drama free? It's like, no, everything about my existence is
your life and what everybody else is doing.
So how can you expect anything otherwise from them?
That's true too.
I wouldn't even expect nothing else from, you know.
Listen,
what I'm saying,
if
from
you're
a gossiper,
if you're a gossiper, the recommendation from a therapist, personally, if you're a gossiper, I would suggest that you get a hobby, whether if it may be going out, if you have like children that are around you, like gather your children and have a coloring contest.
God damn it.
Or do something like, because coloring is very therapeutic.
Red light, green light. Red light, green light.
Play some games.
Test one.
You just never know. I played Operation with the girls over the weekend, like how therapeutic that is.
And I was gonna ask, what the fuck, these motherfuckers grab this game? I put it on everything.
What's the game with the mouthpieces? They was playing that. What's the name of that?
Speak out or
Speak
something
out.
like that.
Speak it out or whatever it's called. They were playing that. Like, they even asked me to play Uno. Like, I mean, when you have outlets other than sitting on the phone and just talking or being in somebody's presence and you just talking and you really don't know what you're talking about, you really need a hobby. That's what I say. You need a hobby. YMCAs, your local community centers, always have activities. Your senior citizen communities, they always have some type of activity that you can join and be a part of. But it's therapeutic to be out there and be in environments to where, wait, this is funny though.
Oh, you gotta tell me it's funny.
Not because one of my patients told me that the senior citizen activity centers was too much because that's all they do is gossip.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
that.
when I heard that, I was like,
it don't stop. It keep going.
And it's like, cause you need a hobby. You just don't need that senior citizen type stuff or environment to have an outlet. You need to find an outlet through other things. You know, and then maybe you will be less judgmental when you have multiple things going on. Like, you don't have to work. You don't have to, just be in whatever the case. Just find something to do. Besides, I feel like running your mouth get you in trouble. You know what I'm saying? We done all been in that situation to where we talked a little bit too much and then it got us in trouble. Like,
actions too.
Actions, yeah, as far as that. But find you a good hobby, like play with your children.
Or yourself.
Take them out. If you have a rose, because I have a rose, right?
Damn it.
Listen. And the rose,
listen.
It charges up. It has a little magnet at the bottom. So if
we're about to end this.
If you need to, and you need a release, and that don't necessarily mean adding a third. It means that you can have a rose and you can put it on the magnet and you can charge it up. And when I tell you that it stays charged for a very long time, I didn't even try to talk to some of my friends into getting this done. They won't get it. 2 seconds. That's all you need.
Well, I bought yours. All right. On that note, we out. Hey.
Imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect. Imperfect. Imperfectly